That's kind of random. Didn't tell nobody about this. Didn't plan it. Just throwing a live video up here. It's a rainy night. Nothing better to do. Down here working. Um, Filling some orders for the Nightlife Kennel. I just got done filming a coon hunting quick tip video. Cole Lyman, what's going on, buddy? David Berlin. Jones Boys. Stevie May, what's going on? 12 people watching. That's not bad considering I didn't advertise this at all. How's everybody doing tonight? Jermaine, what's going on? Tyler, Mario, hey y'all. Jenny, how you doing? Brent Soap, what's going on, man? Clint Walton, Mike Parr, good to see everybody on here. Apologize, I normally advertise a day in advance when we'll do a live video, but was planning on hunting tonight. Had plans with Sean Milton. He was in my last video that we put on, and been pouring rain all day. It's rain now. We thought it was gonna clear up, but now it's come back in. So not getting to hunt tonight like I wanted to. So I figured I was actually down here. I just got done filming another coon hunting quick tip video for you guys. Should be up in about a week. And filling some orders for Nightlife. So I got several different orders, got a whole pile of orders over there. Sending coon hunting gear out to people. Figured I'd jump on here and do some Q&A with you guys, kind of random. Let's see, Mike Parr, David Berlin. Gonna go train in a bit. Get after it, buddy. Good luck. Timmy Lou. Doing good from Oklahoma. Good to see you, man. David Nichols, what's up, cousin? Randy, how's it going, buddy? Sandra, hey, Nick, how you doing? But haven't talked to you in a while. Yeah, it's been a good bit. Hopefully y'all are doing well. Finley River, YouTube's on here. Jeff Lackey. I'm Finley River, Jeff Lackey's son. Finley River Jr. Y'all got a cool channel, I like it. Michael, what's going on, man? I'm doing good. Luke Wall, need a boat to hunt tonight here in Virginia. That's about the way it is here, man. But I tell you, you know, we've gone about 4 weeks without any rain. I do landscaping for a living, and a lot of the places that we've worked here lately, they're pretty bad. You know, plants are dying, grass is dying. We done some grading this past week, and the dirt was dust. It was horrible. So we need the rain. So I'll take it. I need to get in the woods, but we need the rain to make a living to afford to get in the woods. So. Tyler Atkins, how much are them shirts in adult medium? Our shirts range around 20 or 25. I'm currently out of shirts. Actually, I just packaged up my last one here. I will be making an order. Hopefully within we'll have some here in about a month. So they're going to be about $20, $25. Kind of depends on size. I think medium is going to be around 20. Excuse me. David Berlin, it's sunny here, still daylight. David, where you live, buddy? Benji Richard says, hey Nick, how's the dogs? They're doing good. Everybody's doing good. Hyde, it was amazing. I've got all three of them up there in the kennel side by side. And they're up there. My dad's got kennels next door. He's got 8 or 9 beagles, something like that. And we ain't had a bit of flea problems on nobody this year. We had them really bad last year. But Hyde got really bad fleas. So I've got them, I think they're Seresto collars. I bought them. I put them on all the dogs. We'll yet be determined how well it's working. Had to do a kennel dip on Hyde. He's good now, but seems to be fleas are real bad this time of year. Well, on Hyde, just on Hyde. So, but the dogs are doing good. I got Tough out in the woods the other night. As you guys are gonna see in my last video, had to tie Tough back. Tough's starting to develop a habit of face barking, and basically what I do is I go in there, I take a switch, I switch him with it every time he goes to face bark at Hyde, and he never would quit. So finally I switched him up real good and I tied him back, and I could not film me doing that and do it at the same time. And you know, the training of the dog is most important, so that's what I did and that's what I got accomplished. But you can see that there one video, he's down there with the dogs. He would get up on the tree and tree some, but then he started face barking Hyde, and we can't tolerate that. So like that is my first hurdle I've got to accomplish here with Tough, is the face barking thing. Nix, I haven't had her out in the woods in a few weeks, and but she was supposed to go tonight, and if I don't go tomorrow night, she'll definitely be going Monday night. Jones Boys Fishing says, how do I get my dog to stop barking in a kennel and don't have the money for a shocker? Well, man, you're going to put in a little legwork. You're going to get you a switch, cut you a switch, or I'll be honest with you, a hat is like one of the best training tools you can have. Uh, when they start barking, you're going to go up there and tell them no and scold them. And you're probably going to make a lot of trips up and down, to the kennel. And you're going to keep walking out there and tell them to hush and scolding them until they get the point. I've seen some people take a water hose and spray them. You can try that, I guess. I've never really done that much, but taking a hat up there. But to be honest with you, a no bark collar, man, if you can save up the money, Sport Dog SPCR is the one I use. It's a rechargeable. They're $90. It's rechargeable. You can buy the Sport Dog one that takes batteries for $50 at Tractor Supply. The only problem with that is the batteries are like $8 a set. So, if you have to buy a batch of batteries, you kind of save money by buying the SPC or the rechargeable one. But, if you save up the money and get that done, if not, you're going to have to put in a lot of leg work walking to and from the kennel, scolding the dog till it gets the point. Another thing, if you have a tracking system like a Alpha or Sport Dog Tech 2 or even the dog tree that's got the shocking already on it, just put that on your dog and use that temporarily. Finn the River boys are in here talking to each other. Roderick says, thanks on the advice. He's coming out of the skittish stuff. I've been hand feeding him. That's good, man. Yeah, Roderick had a question. I don't know if you asked me on here or if you messaged me. We was talking about he had a dog that was really skittish and what to do with a dog that is skittish. And, I've had a few skittish dogs, and it's kind of a flip of a coin. Sometimes you can get them out of it, and sometimes you can't. And the only thing you can try is spending a lot of time with that dog and bonding with that dog. And we try, as houndsmen, we try to bond with our dogs altogether in general. But a dog that's skittish, you need to make an extra special, you all guys know, if you got more than a couple, 3 dogs in the kennel out there, there's some of them you're really bonded with and there's some you're not as bonded with. And if you're planning on hunting a dog that's skittish, you're going to have to make a really good bond with that dog. Take it for a walk after work. If you can, let it come in the house. Take it for a ride in the truck, like in the truck, not the back. Feed it treats all the time, praise it. Act like that dog, the sun rose and set in that dog. Try to build the dog's confidence, basically, and bond between you and him where they learn to trust you. They may never ever trust anybody else, but maybe they'll learn to trust you. And then in time, that dog might make you a really good dog. Because generally a dog or hound that has a bond with someone hunts and performs better for that person than they would normally. So the greater relationship you have with your hound, generally the better they're going to hunt for you. Finley River asks, what state do I live in? I live in North Carolina. I live in the western, and not the very tip, but the western side of North Carolina in the mountains. There's no hills here. We have bona fide mountains. Western North Carolina, Harrison County is where I live. David said he lives in Michigan, Jackson area. Yeah. Hope you guys can hear me good. Victor Johnson, what's going on, buddy? Curtis Shelton, he's on here. Curtis Shelton is our first ever, he was our first ever field staff, and now he is our pro staff. And we've been talking to Curtis here. You're going to see some hunting videos coming from him here pretty soon. Curtis lives up there in Indiana. Woodrow Smith, what's going on, man? Tyler Axton, man, I like it when you get on here. You ask a lot of questions. This rain's just ridiculous. I know we need it, but God, it messes up hunting plans. Yeah, sure enough, man. Dylan John says, what do you do in the off season to keep your hounds sharp? Man, I train. That's just all I do. You gotta have to stay off of the game land around here. You're not allowed to be on that. But private land, we just go ahead and train the dogs. We take them in the woods, we run them, and we start, especially I like to have pups in the off season because it gives me time to work on all the little odds and ends that they run trash, if they're, cold tracking, back tracking, whatever it may be. And I spend a lot of time doing that. So we still get them in the woods, still get out there and hunt them, and we start working on the training more than anything because you can't knock the coons out, but you can definitely get in the woods as long as you got access to private land. So Jenny says, Finley River, is that a YouTube channel? Yes, Jenny, I believe they do have a YouTube channel. It's pretty good too. They do a lot of live videos. Tyler says he had a red bone that would face bark real bad. Yeah. Sean Milton, what's going on, man? He was the boy that was in the video with me there the other night. Sean's got a really good dog, male dog named Banjo. I like the name and I like the dog. I was actually impressed with that last video we had. We treed and there were so many leads we couldn't find the coon. Hyde rolled up 3 hard locates. I'm not going to speak for the Banjo dog. I don't know his voice as well. But Hyde rolled up 3 hard locates and went to chopping. I've never walked into a tree that was false with Hyde when he done that. So walked in there, we shined the tree. The sycamore went up into 3 larger trees. They were also touched by 2 large pines. And there's just so much greenery in there you couldn't see. That's just all there is to it. We swallowed, couldn't get nothing to look, but that don't mean it's there. So circle that tree. We assume it's there, but Sean's dog Banjo sounded real good. I think that video that we had, even though we wasn't able to show the meat, excuse me, even though we weren't able to show the meat, that audio, when them dogs located up and set down tree, we was 80 yards from them. I think that was some of the best audio and footage we've ever had. I was really proud of that video. Got a lot of slack from that video, but I was proud of it. Timmy Lou says, my 8-month-old dog will run with the old dogs and stay at the tree, but has never barked in the woods. Anything to get his light to switch on. Man, a lot of times you just got to get in there, take those dogs that are on the tree, tie them back just a little bit to give that pup some space on that tree, take him up to the tree, and start leading him up to it, rubbing on the tree, petting him on the head, praise him up, you know, hey, good boy, good boy, good boy, you know, and get really excited like that. And they'll kind of feed off your energy. And you know, if you notice them lean in and smell the tree, praise him up. You know, treat him smelling that tree as if he just treed 50 coons in that tree. You want to get him excited. Every time he does something good or leans toward treeing, praise him up, praise him up. And a lot of things too I've seen guys talk about, and I haven't really done this much, is they say reach down there and grab the jaw of the dog and start shaking it and praise it just a little bit, and it kind of gets the dog loose jawed, I guess you'd say. I don't have any personal experience with that, so I don't know if that works, but a lot of guys swear by that. But sometimes, Timmy, I know like Hyde, he's belly up, slam on the tree, and he don't push dogs around on a tree, but he takes up a lot of tree. So I have to tie him back and give pups a little space. So if you got that going on, give that pup some space to get on that tree. They get kind of intimidated by a hard tree dog sometimes. Thunder and lightning out there right now. Tyler says Jones Boys Fishing, they got them on Amazon for like $80. It has a range of 800 yards. I guess it's talking about shocking systems. Jones Boy, you're welcome, buddy. Finley River Jr. is telling his dad to go to work. Harris Coon says, great content, buddy. We're held up in the house here in Alabama too, but we need the rain. Tyler says, Nick, did you hear about the lady that walked 600 yards from her house to shoot a dog on a tree? I'm talking a little up close. Just an absolute psycho. Yes, I heard about that. I seen it posted all over Facebook. I read about it just a little bit, but I'm not well versed on it. It's amazing some of the things that that people will do. I mean, we've had so many experiences in the woods at night with people, landowners and stuff. I mean, I've been shot at, and I've had shotgun pellets hit my jacket. I mean, it's been that bad. It's crazy, you know, some of the things people do. Jones Boy says, you ever thought about doing a collab video with Kentucky Cooner? Yes, I have. It may come to fruition one day. If I ever get a chance to get up there, or him come here, or whatever, we can work it out. Jenny says, over here in Kansas, we have 11 inches in the last 2 weeks. Man, see, we ain't had any rain in 4 weeks. I don't know how many inches we got today. Probably got 2 or 3 maybe. It's quite a bit, but it was enough that normally 2 or 3 puts our creeks out and flooding, and it didn't. It just brought them up kind of high. So we was that far down. Jacob West, what's going on, man? Justin from Missouri, how you doing? 34, 2 people says on the chat, 14 thumbs up. Come on, show Nick some love, Finley River said. Yeah, guys, if you don't mind, hit that thumbs up button. I think it's somewhere up here or up there. I don't know. I don't know what it looks like from you guys' view. Tyler says hunting in the summer is fun. It's just kind of dangerous for snakes and overheating. Yeah, it's like the hunt we went on there the other night. You know, I hadn't had a hideout in over a month. And it was very hot. South Carolina is always 10 degrees hotter than it is here where I live. And it was very hot and very humid. I noticed that, you know, we casted from the truck one time, but we actually casted 3 times. What I like to do when I get in a place like my lease in South Carolina, I got a lot of land in there deep. Is I'll go in there and I'll cast, and then whatever happens, I'll cast again. I'll cast again. So on video, it kind of looks like we dropped one time, but we actually, it was there for a couple hours and we cast 3 times. But I noticed that at the tree, from the tree and Hyde, Banjo, even Tough, being as young as he was, they was really fatigued because they hadn't been in the woods a lot. And then walking out, even though it wasn't a hard walk, me and Sean both was pretty well heated. And I know Sean said he was kind of getting sick to his stomach. Afterwards, when I was driving out, I was getting sick to my stomach. So yeah, you got to watch out for the heat, man. And then of course the snakes. We was both wearing our snake guards that I sell on my website. We've done that video of. So, but you gotta be careful. You gotta prepare for all that stuff. So Michael says, Nick, I purchased a beacon light about 2 months ago. The other night when he came back to check in, I noticed that the buckle was broke. I was wondering if I could do anything about it. Yeah, Michael, if you have the receipt, or if you bought it online, I don't know if you bought it from me or whoever, if you can print it off, you know, a copy of where you bought it, or if you have the receipt, you call up Sport Dogs customer service. You have a 1-year warranty on those beacon lights, and they will replace that for free. If you guys will hang on, I will get you the customer service number. I'm looking it up on my phone right now. I've got it under my contacts. Bear with me, fellas. Sport Dog customer service. You guys need the customer number. Write that down. I'll read that out to you. Michael, your customer service number is 1-800-275-6797. 1-800-275-6797. Let me say it again. 1-800-275-6797. You have the receipt. You do have a 1-year warranty on that Sport Dog beacon. They will make it up. Logan, what's going on, man? Trickle Creek, what's up? He says we used to have a dog named Banjo that plays 17th at the night hunt. I like that name a lot. May have to take that one day, a few years down the road, maybe. Tyler says, "What's your craziest hunting story?" Man, I got craziest. Oh man, there's a lot of things that's happened over the years. I don't know. I got scary hunts. I got crazy ones. I'll tell you one of the ones I think I may have told it on here before. I'll go ahead and tell it again. One of the ones, the story's been on my mind now kind of for about a week. So since you're asking, I'll talk about this. Went hunting this place called the Sod Farm. It's Sod Farm here in town. They let me coon hunt. And it's not got a big tract of land, but it's got a river that runs all the way through the middle of it. So you kind of cut on the river and dogs just take off. And if there's anything on the river, you're going to tree it. Well, about halfway down, it's probably nearly half a mile or so. Right off in the middle of the field, there's a little hump, little hill. And there's trees on that. Of course, they don't farm that. Well, I had a dog named Ellie one time, female. And she turned out not being any good. But anyway, that's a long story. I cut her in there. Ellie went down there and she struck a track on the river. She cut right-handed across the sod field. When they do that, they're blistering. I mean, this is just a mowed grass field. She is blistering. She went over there to that little hardwood patch. And I'm talking about, this is like a 1/4 acre. This is tiny. Tiny little hill, little knob. I don't know why it's even there, but it is. I heard her roll up tree, locate, and roll to chopping. Well, it's pretty long ways over. So I decided, well, I'm going to get my truck. I can drive literally within 50 yards of this tree. So I get in the truck and I drive over there. I get out and I've lost Ellie on the tracking system. But I can still hear her. But it literally sounds like she's barking like somewhere far off, but I know it's not, if that makes any sense. So I walk over to where I last had her at the time. Like I said, I was hunting with a Garmin. Walked over to where she was, and I could hear her at the tree, but I couldn't see her. I walked all the way around this tree. It's a big white oak. And I'm talking like 3 grown men, but all they could do to reach around this thing. Massive white oak. Walked all the way around it. Finally, I realized Ellie's in the tree, but there's no hole around the base of this tree. I don't know how Ellie got in this tree. Um, it was straight up and down. It didn't have a hard lean onto it. And the only thing I can think of is, even though it was straight up and down, Ellie climbed up this tree, and there must have been a hole up there, and Ellie fell in. Well, I had a pup of hers with me at the time too. It come to me. It was off down at the river. It hadn't been doing it. It was like 6 months old. It come to me, and it hears her in there treeing, and it gets to clawing at the tree. Well, finally, I found like one little doughy spot on the corner of the tree, like this big. And I go by a truck, and I get, I think it was a ratchet. That's the only thing I had was a ratchet. And I start pounding at that doughy spot, and I finally am able to knock out a hole about yay big. Like I said, just kind of a semi-rotten spot, but it wasn't a hole. And I can see Ellie's feet in there, and she's treeing hardcore. And this is back before I filmed any of my hunts or anything like that. So went to somebody's house, got some tools, come back, and I was able to chip away a bigger hole. I mean, I can't show you how big on camera, but it was big enough where I could reach in there, and I grabbed Ellie's two legs. And I felt bad for her because I jerked her out of there, and she kind of hit the ground, and I was able to drag her out. And I took and I shined up that tree, and that hollow spot was, I guess, if the tree took 3 men to reach around, the actual inside of the tree had to be about yay thick. So I mean, this was a massive cavity inside of this thing, and it went slammed to the top of that tree. And never did see the coon. I don't know if she fought it and it went higher, but there was coon scat all in the bottom. You can definitely tell that it was an active den tree. And it was amazing to find her in a tree without any access holes. She must have had to climb that tree. And I was scared to death too. I mean, I was hitting the panic button pretty bad. So, Cole Lyman, what was your best dog? I own him right now, man. Hyde right now is by far my best dog. Jug was a really good dog. I really enjoyed Jug, but I bought Jug when he was 6 years old, so I didn't develop him, didn't help train him in any way. He was what he was, and he was a really great dog. But every now and then he'd bump something. You know, he'd bump a bear. There at the end, he got where he'd run deer just a touch, maybe once or twice a year. And so far, Hyde's been my best dog. He's 4.5 years old, and I have no complaints about him, really. Excuse me. And if he's got any faults, it's something I caused anyway. So Hyde's probably my best dog. Benji says, do you have problems with your pups chasing bear? I know you have them where you are. I run over them. I currently have not had that issue. I've hunted with other dogs that bumped and run bear. But, you know, kind of getting on the topic of off game here. I've been seeing some things lately that's kind of disturbed me just a little bit. People talking about on social media, you know, letting their dogs develop on their own, and then later when they're a year or so old, breaking bad habits. And I'm a firm believer that that's probably not the best way to do things. It's kind of like if you raise a youngin', you let your youngin' start some bad habit, whatever you want it to be, overeating, smoking, drinking, whatever it is. And you let them get up to about teenager age, and then you try to break that habit. Don't do that. You don't do that. You teach your kids right from wrong from the get-go, and hopefully they never develop those bad habits. And you guys know, you follow me on here enough. You know, I kind of attribute training dogs to raising kids. I don't have any kids, but I can definitely see how the correlation between the two is the same. I think if you would kind of focus, you train your hounds like you would raising a youngin', it kind of leads you in the right direction. And I think if you got a pup and you expose them to certain things when they're young and break it instantly, like I don't, you know, some guys talk about letting their dogs treat possums when they're 7, 8, 9 months old, or chase squirrels around the house or things like that. And I just think that's you know, waste of time. I think you should break those habits the minute they come along, because it's going to save you time down the road. I mean, that's just the way I see it. I've seen dogs that was done that way, and then when it's a 1.5 to 2 years old, even though they started hitting coons like crazy, they started running off some bad stuff too, and there you are frustrated because you got this dog who's doing great, now he's chasing trash. Well, if you'd have broke the trash to begin with, you wouldn't have that problem. And it's kind of that way with bear here. I mean, if I see a pup starting to run a bear, I'm going to break him right then and there. If he's 6 months old and he trees a squirrel, I'm going to break it. And if he trees a possum, I'm going to break it. And, you know, dogs have the ability to be singled out at a young age on one single thing. And, you know, if you push it hard enough, you do it right, you can break them with anything and not have to worry about it later on. Just enjoy them developing into a good coon dog. Oh, let's see. Buddy Moore, It says, howdy everyone, Blue Tick Pups do this weekend. Uh, Goth says, do you like Titanic? Are you talking about the movie? It's alright. Been many years since I've seen it. Chance Swishers, how you doing, buddy? Nathan Smart at English Days in Indiana. Are you hunting it, man? Or you just there to check it out? Bud says, does anyone know where you get the little multicolor collars you see people put on pups? Identify them. Most places you can get them. A lot of times that's a cat collar, bud. Cat collars work for that. I guess you probably get them at Walmart and stuff, Tractor Supply, whatever. Chance says, thumbs up, then you bring the video back up. I don't know if that's true or not. Tyler Axton says, I ain't real sure if you have already answered this, but what kind of dog did you start with? I've always been with walkers. Let's see. My first walker, I had a pup that I named Rimshot. It was off of Yakin River stock. I remember that. I was given that dog. Started with that dog. Didn't make much of it. I was really young. I'm talking about 7 or 8 years old. Or midnight. Maybe I had one of both. I can't remember. Those names ring a bell. 2 red bones that were kind of like rescue deals. These dogs were malnourished. I found somebody had been mistreating whatever, and I got them back healthy. I tried to hunt them. I thought, well, if they're gonna make a coon dog, I will keep them. And they just weren't very good coon dogs, so I actually ended up giving away to some bear guys, and they made pretty decent bear dogs from what I understood. Never owned a blue tick. I'm not opposed to it. I like them. Is it the Gaskin blue ticks? I like the idea of that. But it's always been walkers pretty much for me. Anything that's ever run a coon I've owned has been a walker for sure. Not saying that's the only dogs I will, but that's just what I've had. Jones boy, going to work. Be good, buddy. Finley River Jr. says 32 away from 270. What you mean by that? Cole Lyman says, do you like the Billy Linton Bugle? Yes, I do. Let me get it right here. I've got the Billy Linton Bugle. I still have it. It's a very good call. I really haven't towed it in the woods a whole lot. It's just a few times. This right here is what he's talking about. If you will, comment below. Let me know if you can see me. So Cole Lyman was talking about, do I like the Billy Linton Bugle? Yes, I do. This is right here. What I'm really impressed by is the sound it makes, being it's just a single reed. This is a really nice call. May actually start carrying these here before too long. I really like my JC calls, but I can't seem to get. That's a really good squatter. I like it right there. Alan Bridges says, Nick, when you gonna make it down to Morganton to run with my dog? She needy the influence of your dogs. You don't need my influence, man. Ain't nothing special about my dogs, but I'll get down and hunt with you. Tyler says, do you got an update on that snake bite dog that was real skittish from the last Q&A? No, I have not heard. I'll tell you what, I will find out about that, and the next Q&A, I will definitely talk about it. I know the dog is healthy and doing fine, but whether it got over being skittish or not, I think it did, now that I remember. Sis is a friend of my mother's. I think that dog did get better. What we kind of attribute it to, and I know somebody had mentioned on here, was swelling around the brain. I think it had something to do with it. Clint Walton says, I found the Houndsman XP podcast. I'm enjoying it. Have you thought about doing podcast anymore? Yes, I did, and I've actually set it up, and I don't know, I knew that whole deal, and once I actually recorded 2 or 3 of those, and I went to put them up, and the file size was so big on the podcast. When you buy into a podcast, you have to pay a subscription fee, or when you start a podcast, you basically have to buy, kind of like buying airtime for radio, but you're buying data time or data space to publish your podcast. And the plan I picked, I didn't know nothing about it. I didn't know what megabytes and all that stuff was. I picked the medium size. Well, all my files were like a lot bigger, so I couldn't upload them. And I just really haven't got around. It was costing me like $40 a year. Excuse me, guys. And it's going to have to upgrade like $150 a year to go to a larger file size. I'm just not sure. Mainly what I was going to do with the podcast is I was going to start recording the audio off of these and just publish that. That way, if you're going down the road or something, you want to listen to one of these, you could. without having to watch it. But yeah, I mean, I'll probably still do something like that. But the Houndsman XP, they're doing a great job of it. It's kind of one of the things. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, and I don't have any intention of trying to compete with them fellers. I like what they're doing, and I'm a big fan of that myself. Might do it later on, but I'm in no big hurry right now. We got that cover, the Houndsman XP, and I'm just enjoying those. Victor Johnson says thunderstorms and lightnings ain't nothing. You should have been in Brookville, Ohio this last week. That F4 tornado dropped down. Yeah, I heard about that. That was terrible. I got some friends and stuff living in Ohio. Tyler Action says, what's your scariest story, whether it be you almost getting hurt or a dog or what? Let's see. Scariest story. Man, I don't know. I got 3 or 4 that's really scary. One of the ones that bothered me the most, and I'll go ahead and tell this one. And I've told this on here before, but I'll go ahead and tell you guys again. That same Ellie dog that climbed up in that tree, after that, she developed a habit of climbing trees. And this is why I cannot stand that. So I took Ellie down to Polk on Will's place. You guys see me put them videos up hunting there quite a bit. Cut her in the woods, and there's a section on the back side of his property. After this, I will not hunt again, and this is for this reason. And it's not far from the main highway, and she was kind of a short-range dog, so I wasn't too worried about that. But anyway, I cut her in the woods. Ellie went in there about 150 yards, located up, and went to roll chop tree. And I was excited because she was young, and I mean, some of the first few trees, this is actually this night, she treed one before, and she was just on. I mean, it was on. That dog knew what she was doing. She was, there wasn't nothing could touch her. Jug couldn't keep up with her. Another dog was with her, couldn't keep up with her. I mean, she was the boss hog in the woods that night, and she was going to tree every coon in the country. Well, she rolled up, started chopping on that tree, and then she got kind of quiet, and I was heading on in there too, and I thought, well, maybe she's just checking it. And she went to oh, and she started growling. I mean, she's about ready to fight, and I thought, that's something odd. Walked into this tree, and I got some pictures. Maybe I'll post them up sometime. And it's a huge paper bark birch. It's about yay big around, 2 guys, maybe a man and a half could have reached around it. And it had a huge, hard 45-degree lean up over a creek. Now, where this thing went to the ground at was on top of the bank, and the bank was probably 10 foot down to the water line. And she was 40 foot up. She was face to face with the coon. And I kind of started panicking, because she was up there, and I thought, man, if she falls, it was in a bend. If she falls on the right side, she's going to hit water. If she falls on the left side, it was like pebble rocks, about that big, had a huge sandbar, but it was rocks, it wasn't sand. And I thought, man, if she falls, she's going to hit that, and she's going to get bad hurt, So, my buddy Will's on them videos. He was going around trying to find a way of getting up there to her. I was starting to find out, playing myself to get up there to her and everything else. Well, I told her, I said, I tried to coax her down. And that's one thing you think about. I said, Ellie, come on. I started whistling her. And I had her trained just like I do Hyde. I could tone her out. I could call her out of anywhere. It didn't matter. And Ellie turned around to look at me. And when she did, she slipped one back leg off. And I'll never forget this. She slipped on the back side of the tree that I was looking at. And one leg went down, and then her second leg fell off. And I'll never forget, she was kind of laying with her belly on the tree, and the coon was up to the right. She was looking down at me, and I was looking up at her. And I'll never forget this day as long as I live. I seen her dig her claws into that paper bark on that thing, which, if you guys know what a river birch is, the bark just crumbles off. I'll never forget, she started to slide. I seen that bark ripping off there, and I seen her eyes get that big. And she looked square at me, and I looked square at her. And when she fell out of there, I couldn't follow her with my light for some reason. It was like some underbrush or something. And I remember she fell out of sight. It seemed like it took forever, but it was just momentary. I remember listening, hoping and praying I'd hear a splash. I heard on the ground. And Will jumped in, went over and grabbed her. She got up. She landed on those rocks. She was stunned. She was hurt, but she was coming to me in a panic. And Will grabbed her and chunked her up the bank to me. And I remember grabbing her, and she was just shaking like crazy. I mean, and her eyes was wide open. And we picked her up, and we take her to the truck. I rushed her to the vet, and I've got some pictures of her all wrapped up in a towel and all. And she got a concussion. She got a bruised hip, maybe broken ribs. I know some were bruised, and just bruising all over her body. and I couldn't hunt her for a month. Luckily, she pulled through, but I'll just never forget. I mean, I wasn't scared for my own personal self, but just seeing that dog, the fear in that dog's eyes, and knowing there was nothing I could do about it, that's probably the most scary time in the woods. Uh, Benji says, "I smell what you're stepping in, Nick. If you don't let them start on bad habits at start, no problem later." James says he just got done doing a flea bath for his hounds. Woodrow Smith, Budmore, one place to check for those collars is Dollar Tree. Talking about the little pup collars. Fanny River looks like he's hunting about everything. Talking about red bones and blue ticks. Clint Fowler asks, what kind of distance you get out of your Tech 2.0? It depends on terrain, man. I've actually done some field testing. I've done a lot of field testing for Sport Dog. I've got up to 3 miles in the truck out of that. I will go in and out around a mile, just depending on the terrain. And then I've had times, too, where you hunt in places like South Carolina that's fairly flat, but they got these really steep 10-foot deep gullies. And a dog will go in it and run that gully a little bit, and you'll lose the dog, and it won't be 400 yards away. But it's the same experiences I had with the Garmin, and I'm actually field testing a Doctor right now, and I'm having the same thing out of the Doctor too. So from what I can tell, range-wise, between the Garmin, the Sport Dog, and the Doctor, they're all about the same. When it comes down to it, you need to look at the history of customer service, you need to look at the warranty, and then, of course, your budget when it comes to tracking systems. Jenny said her phone's dying. Gotta go. Have a good one. David says, okay, let's hear what the squalor sounds like. I'd say, I guess I did. I showed you guys. I've actually got, I got the Timothy Ball here. I've got Bad Man, and I've got Zeps, which I'm not a fan of that. Okay, Tyler says, have you got experience with the cheaper Itasca waterproof boots? I think much better quality wise, but what's your opinion? I have no experience with those, man. Cole Lyman says, are used to Billy and Bugle in all my hunts. Bud Moore says, do you vaccinate your dogs or let the vet do it? If you're talking about like wormer for the pups, I do that myself. Tyler says, what wormer do you use? I like that Panicure. It's a paste that you get. You just put some on your finger. It's actually by the big tube, like for horses. And if you read how many cc's and all that for a dog, you can figure it out. Just put that on your finger and I swallow it inside the dog's mouth. I'm getting ready to switch over to that monthly pill they talk about. Is it NexGard or something that pretty much covers everything, even fleas and ticks or something like that? I'm going to try that. Stevie says he's had one of his females fall out of a tree on a gravel. I know that's I hate that. I hate when it happens. Leg hold Chuck, what's going on, man? Tyler says my attitude has always been walkers make it happen, blue ticks watch it happen, black and tans don't know what happened. Big Country, what's going on, man? Cam Curtis, how you doing? Joseph Rain says, how's everybody been a while since I've been on here? We've been good, man. We're just holding the fort down, hunting when we can. Tyler says, you ever thought about going bear hunting in it? Yeah, I actually don't. I'm not dogging. I'm not throwing off on bear hunting with dogs, but it doesn't really draw me. Now, I would like to kill a bear once in my life just to say I've done it, and I'll probably just do that still hunting. I don't know. I'll probably go hound hunting one time for bears, just see what it's all about. Clint Fowler says, I bought a collar from the other day. The one I got, I lost a couple times, 800 yards, but never lost it and didn't come back. A lot better than the Garmin. Appreciate that, buddy. I really do. I remember your order there. Big Country says, had the same thing happen to me at a night hunt. Last weekend, dog climbed about 30, 40 feet, leaning over Yadkin River. The water was up. She fell in. It's scary when you can't do anything for them. Yeah, and I actually seen a video on Facebook months ago. Somebody had one climb a tree, and they went and got a chainsaw and cut the tree down. To be honest with you, I wanted to slap him. I'm like, what are you thinking? Isaac Smith, yeah, we come on late night. We actually was didn't even advertise this, man. It was just kind of a random deal, and rainy night. I'm down here filling orders for the Nightlife family. I got a bunch of stuff I'm gonna mail out tomorrow, and I actually got done shooting a quick tip video for you guys. It'll be going up next week. I've actually got about 10 quick tip videos already shot, edited, and they're going to be coming out about a week apart from each other. Now tomorrow, I've got a really cool video that's going to be coming out. We're talking about the 4 phases of becoming a houndsman. And it's just something that's been on my mind for a while, and I wanted to cover that and talk about that with people. And it's kind of cool to dive into it and think about it and kind of figure out what phase of being a houndsman I'm in right now, what phase I'm heading towards, and maybe it's an interesting topic for you guys to listen to and kind of figure out where you are and, you know, how, if you agree with me or, you know, your thoughts on it. So well, I want to ask you guys a question. I got 21 on here. That video we put up the other night, this will give you chills, where the audio was so good. What did you guys think about that hunt? I'd like to know you guys' opinion. Had been a while since I've been in the woods, so that's the first hunt I put up since around March 15th. March 15th was the last hunt I filmed. So, just want to know what y'all's opinions were. Dave Nichols says, when you go bear hunting with hounds, be careful, you'll get hooked. You won't want to kill a bear any other way. I see the draw behind it. I definitely do. My issue is, and this is nothing against bear hunting with hounds, I like to hunt with a hound or maybe 2, train the pup. I don't like packs of dogs in the woods. I just don't. It's never been my thing. So I know you have to do that to bear hunt. Isaac Smith said he liked the video, gave him chills when he watched it. Awesome, man. We got 20 people on there watching right now. I want to let you guys know I appreciate you. Oh, another thing, I made a little video about this the other day. I keep getting notifications about comments, and I can see the comment on the notification on my phone. And when I click on my YouTube app to actually reply back, it doesn't ever show up. So if you've left a comment recently on my videos and I didn't like it, or if I didn't reply to it, let you know, more than likely I saw it, I did appreciate it, and I had a reply, but I just couldn't make it. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I hate that, because I like to reply, or at least like every single comment on my videos. Because if you guys are going to take the time to comment, I'm going to take the time to respond in one way or another. So hopefully I'm not hurting nobody's feelings by not responding to you. I'm not ignoring you. I wish I could. David said he really liked that video and also liked that other kid, and his hound was really nice to see. Yeah, Sean's a good guy. Benji says, best parasite warmer I found is Ilium pyroquanal. Pyroquanal? I don't know if I'm saying it right. It's for hooks, whips, tapes, and roundworms. 100 pills equals $165. Each pill worms 20 pounds. That's pretty cool. I'll look into that. It may be what I'm talking about. I heard them talking about it the other day on that podcast or something when they had the bed on there. I'm definitely going to look into that. You guys got any more questions or comments you guys want to talk about? Benji said it was awesome video with good sound quality. Well, we got 20 people watching on here. Been at about 45 minutes. I don't want to keep you guys all night, but if you got something you want to talk about, I'm more than happy to talk about it. Big Country says he's been listening to the Houndsman XP podcast. It's really good. Yeah, I really enjoy that. I wish they put out more than one a week, but from someone who is a content creator, I know how hard it is to do something every week, especially if you're still working, man. It's really hard to get out there. I'll go ahead and give you guys a little insight on this whole deal. It's really hard to work all the time, I'm sure you guys know, and go coon hunt, but when you add in filming on top of that, it's a whole different ball game. You have to plan things out. Like, I got to plan to bring a bunch of gear with me. I plan, kind of what we're going to say at the tailgate. I plan what we're going to say at the end. Also, I got to remember I want to show off this product or that product, or I want to focus and show a little bit on this type of training, this, that, and the other. There's always a checklist of things I want to get accomplished in a video. And I also got to make sure that when we walk in the tree, we get a good angle on the coon, we get a good angle on the dogs, we get some good audio for you guys. There's a whole bunch of stuff whenever you film a hunt that you have to focus on to make good content. And it's like having another job. And honestly, it gets there after a while when you're coon hunting and you're filming these hunts. Especially when you add in the fact you get an hour plus of editing video later on that you have to do before you can upload it, it kind of gets to be aggravating. And I actually spent a lot of time after March 15th was my last film that I put up. I actually went hunting several times without filming because I wanted to recharge the batteries, you know, kind of refocus on why I coon hunt. It's not just to make videos, and just kind of re-enjoy, you know, the reason why I got into coon hunting. So I took a hiatus off of filming stuff for a while for that very reason. But filming these hunts and getting content up for you guys can be like another job. And you get a little burnout after a little while, but then when you take a break like I did, and then you put up a video that you're so proud of, it's almost like watching that pup get turned on. It's that type of feeling that you get. So, yeah, I really enjoy that. So, getting back to the Houndsman XP, they're only putting up one a week, so I understand why. But it'd be cool if they had more. Bud, you're welcome, man. Clint Walton says, talk about feeding your dog if you change anything in the summer. I don't change a whole lot unless I notice I'm starting to get fat. I'll cut back the feed. I pretty much stick with the same feed. I'm hunting that, using that Tops brand right now, which is a brand of Value Pack. And it's the exact same feed as Value Pack. They're owned by Value Pack. And I'm feeding that right now. I can't remember which one. It's a red bag. And no, I'll cut back a little bit. I noticed Hyde was getting a little fat, so I cut back on him a little bit. But I don't change a whole lot, man. Benji says, yeah, you can order online and don't need a prescription. Benji, where do you get that at? Because I am interested. Where do you order that from? You guys have any ideas of anything you want to see in the next few coon hunting quick tip videos? I may have already filmed it, but I'd like to know some ideas of what you'd like to hear about. Glenn says, do you do anything in the summertime for your dogs to keep them cooler? It's pretty dang hot here in Oklahoma. Pretty much all I do, man, I keep some fresh bedding in there because, you know, fresh bedding, I think, you know, it's a good idea to keep fresh bedding in your dogs. Got to keep them plenty of water. And also, where I have my dogs right now is under constant shade. Even in the wintertime, my dogs have some shade. There's some pine trees and stuff around them. But I just keep them in the shade. They're on top of a hill, so it seems a little bit breezy all the time. If you got them in direct sunlight, definitely get you a shade cloth or a tarp or something to cover over top of them. I see guys that live like down in Texas and places like that where it's extremely hot. They got misting systems. I think it's a really cool idea. I don't necessarily need that here, but definitely dogs need shade. They need cool water too. That's about all we do. Woodrow Smith, I don't video, but can understand where it can be stressful. Benji says, I think it's Amazon or eBay. Just Google it. 1-800-PetMeds.com. What was that? Benji, post that up again so I ain't got to scroll back. What was it called? I'm going to write that down. Wormer on eBay. You personally use this? Cole Lyman, do you like Mojo and Mojo Mason pups? I got mixed emotions on Mojo. Mojo was born and raised right here 15 minutes away, and he wasn't much of a dog here. When he went up to Ohio, he was a real good dog. You took him up north, there's a lot of coons. Mojo done real good. I've seen him throw some good stuff, and I've seen some stuff that a lot of stuff wasn't no good in the area that I hunt. Actually, Tough, it goes back to a little bit of Mojo stuff. I'm kind of concerned about that, but I had to get him. I wanted him. So, if I can avoid it, I will avoid having Mojo in Bloodline. But when it's all said and done, you know, sometimes dogs just kind of what you let them develop into, not more or less what the bloodlines are. David says, really appreciate all you do for us followers. Sometimes I really wonder how you get all the good footage. I can even get a good picture Now, it's work, but I appreciate it, guys, and I get a lot of reward out of it. So I really do. Finley River can attest to that. Some of the like I said, when you put up a good quality video that has some cool, even if it's not like the other day we couldn't find the coon or we couldn't get the coon to look, but we had good audio, and that's knowing I put up a video that could give people chills, like it gave me. That's as rewarding as like having a pup start to click on in the woods. It really does feel good. Okay, so Benji says Ilium. I ain't gonna dare try to say that. Para. Alright, I'm gonna look into that. Alright, guys, clicking on the hour here. You guys got anything else you want to talk about? We'll talk about it. Yeah, Family River says videoing in the woods isn't always easy. One of the biggest things that people really have a hard time understanding is how hard it is to get good lighting. And then cameras don't always film good at night, even under decent lighting. They get pixelated, and you kind of have to invest in some really good quality equipment. I got the new S10 phone, and I used that about half the time the other night, and it films pretty good at night. It's actually got a nighttime setting on it. Clint Waters says, "You ever been around any Tequila Sunrise dogs?" Yeah, a buddy of mine used to have 2 or 3 of them. They was pretty good dogs. Woodrow says he has personally used that wormer, but my supplier moved on me. Cole Lyman says, "What was your dog's name that got stuck in the tree again? And who was her dad and mom?" Her name was Nightlife Ellie Mae. I never had a video of her. I've got a couple little clips on my cell phone of her, but that was back before I started filming hunts. Her dad was Hardwood Elvis Attack. I went up there, met with Wesley Sanford in Waddy, Kentucky, picked her up when she was 8 weeks old. I can't remember what the female was, but it was some female in his kennel. I went up there and he had probably 20 dogs in his kennel. But I'd watch the Tree My Dog, Tree My Pup videos and all that stuff. And, that's when I got infatuated with coon hunting. And I'm like, I want to step up my game, get a well-bred dog. So I drove all the way up there, handing $500, took her. And she was a really good dog to start out with. And then there toward the end, well, I'll tell you the whole story. One time when I was at Autumn Oaks, got a phone call that her 1-year-old pup was in the kennel beside her. Got in there to her while she was in heat. Wasn't seen that she was bred, but we knew she was in heat, and that's why he broke the kennel to get to her. So with that being said, I come back in town, called up a vet, and asked if there's anything I could do. They said they had a shot they could give her to make sure she didn't have any puppies. I went there and gave her that shot, and I didn't know it till after the fact, but basically it throws them into another heat cycle. It's like a whole bunch of hormones in one, and some of the side effects is it can make the dog crazy, or it can change the dog. I didn't know that when I did it, or I wouldn't have done it. But after the fact, she was always been a real solid dog. She had a good locate. She was never tree happy. She didn't hardly ever slick when she was a pup. She's a really good solid dog. And this was when she was about 2.5, 3 years old when this happened. And after that, she got to where she was running every squirrel in the country at night. And she got where she was slick treeing like crazy. I tell a story about walking to 9 different slick trees, and one night that was the dog I did it with. I done everything I could to break that dog slick tree. I mean, I done everything shy of putting a bullet in her. And my buddy Kim, he didn't. I think he had one. He had 2 old dogs at the time. Didn't have any pups. I asked him. I said, "Kim, if you don't mind, take her and hunt her for me. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe you, because he's about the best houndsman I personally know." And so Kim took her and he hunted her for a solid month, and she just got worse and worse. And so we ended up giving her to some kid up in a few counties away. I don't know whatever happened to her. But I feel like, honestly, her going downhill like and having an issue, kind of my fault for having that shot given to her. But I didn't know the side effects, and I'll definitely never do that again. But that's the thing. If you're a houndsman, if you've been into this at any length of time, you're going to find you're probably going to ruin more hounds than you care to admit. That's just the nature of it. Clint said you have tough. Yeah, I still have tough. If you watch the video before this, or no, 2 videos before this, called "This Will Give You Chills," Tough is in that video. He does tree in that video, and then he starts face barking. And I didn't show it on footage because it's hard to film, but I had to work on his face barking with him. Benji says, I just sent you a pic by text of the label of the wormer. Let me check it out. I got it, buddy. Appreciate that, man. I really do. Cole says, do you like, I think it's comp hunts. I see the need for them. I definitely do not want them to go away. I think being the fact that having comp hunts keeps the sport alive and introduces it to a lot of people who may never know about it. But me personally, I don't like the competition hunt. It's just not me. I've been to a handful of them, been in a handful of them, and just not my thing. But not against them. I see a need for them, and I definitely don't want them to go away. I wish there was some way that you could honestly make it 100% about the hound and the handler and have no influence on it at all. But that's just the nature of it. You can't do that. There's no way of doing it. Victor says, my 1-year-old male pup, Diamond, out of Big Money, has Tequila Sunrise on his damn side, 3rd generation. Heard a lot of good about him. Like I said, my buddy has some Tequila Sunrise dogs, and they were pretty good dogs. They really were. All right, guys. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we sign off here? I got a lot more editing to do. I've got a few more orders I got to fill. Let me show you this real quick. I don't know if you guys know. I want to answer this while I'm on here. We recently done a giveaway on our Facebook page. First 50 people that messaged the page, my Facebook page, with their address, got a free decal, like this one right here. Just recently got a bunch of these in. I don't know. I'm gonna probably put some of these up on the website for sale if you guys want some. But maybe doing another giveaway too. Hey guys, putting these on their Yeti cups, all kinds of stuff. I mean, you can just imagine this. This is my Yeti cup right here. You just imagine what that right there would look like on the Yeti cup. These are really cool. I like these a lot. And also got a new decal coming, and it's Hyde's face. Let me see if I can show you a picture of it. Bear with me, guys. Where's that here? Well, can't find it. Oh, here it is. How you like it? It's Hyde's face, and it says hashtag Joe don't like it. If you guys have been following me for any length of time, you have heard the story about Joe, and you guys know what hashtag Joe don't like it means. Probably going to be giving them away. We got about 50 of them coming. Jenny says, what's the best night of hunting you've ever had? It would have to be probably up there in Kentucky. I went with Kim Bishop and a couple other buddies up there in Kentucky. The first night we went up there, dogs rode 8 hours in truck. When we got out, every dog in that country knew or did not know nothing. Those were the stupidest bunch of expert dogs I've ever seen in my life. I'm talking about dogs that I would lay every dollar I got on that they going to tree coons on normal. And for some reason we drove up there, they ain't tree for nothing the first night. Every dog up there slicked. Hyde slicked. My buddy's dog slicked. I ain't going to talk bad on them by their name, but anyway, then we hunted for 3 or 4 nights after that, and I'm telling you, we flat slayed the coons. I could go back and turn loose in the same spot every single night, tree a coon, tree 2 coons, tree 3 coons. I mean, it got to the point where you got tired of knocking coons out. That was an awesome. I got the video series up. That's when I first started filming, so the video quality is not the best, but there's 3 nights of hunting Land Between Lakes in Kentucky, and I absolutely enjoyed myself to death up there. I wish I lived close enough to hunt that place all the time, because my buddy Kim Bishop, he's hunted up there for 10 plus years. He knows every hill and holler on that place. He knows where the coons are at. We got one place up there that you can cut on there right now. You'll go tree a coon. You can come right back tomorrow and tree a coon. You can go the next night. In 10 years of hunting, he's treed every time he's cast there. And the several years I've been going up there, I treat every time I cast in that holler. And I just love that place. That was an awesome hunt. We treated a pile of coons. We had a lot of camaraderie between the men. Good food at the campsite. I mean, it's all around awesome hunt. I think I treed, I can't remember how many coons it was in 3 nights, but it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. Michael Chase Vaughn says, "Hey Nick, just joined, man. Good to see you. Appreciate you." Cole says he don't like how people throw a big fit at these compounds. Yeah, that's probably the reason why I don't get into them. Is I don't have a temperament to put up with cheating and stuff. And I know it may not happen to every cast, but it's happened to me every time I'm hunting, and I just really makes me mad. John says, "You ever consider going to hunt test?" Yeah, I have. I thought about putting hiding in the hunt test, but I don't know. Haven't got around to it. I will tell you this: if I feel like I'm a highly competitive person. I mean, highly competitive. I actually have to keep in check sometimes. Um, and if I had a dog that I thought could win, I would definitely get somebody to handle it and put it in hunts. I don't do it because I just can't take the temperament of it. But if I had a dog I thought could win, I would definitely have somebody handle it and go put it in hunts. Woodrow says the only way to make it all about the hound is hunt test, I believe it's called. Yeah, but I'm hearing that people are cheating at those too. I hear because you're paying off the guy, or the one that's judging you, or this, that, and the other, or buddies are going somewhere to a place that their friends run the club, and there's a way of cheating at everything. Bottom line, hunt test is probably the most honest way to go about it. But like I said, you can cheat at anything. Benji, good buddy. All right, buddy. We'll see you later, man. Clint Walton says, "I'm looking for a blackmouth cur. My late father-in-law raised him, and my wife wants me to get a pup." Man, ask around. Anybody on here got any late mouth curs or any links to them? Big Country says, "Best thing to do with slick trained dogs is put them in PKC hunts when the leaves are on, so you can win with minus points." Yeah, see, that whole thing just, nope. I'm not a cheater. That's the thing. I'm highly competitive, but I'm not a cheater. And I don't, that's just cheating to me. That's so dumb. Whatever. Big Country says, "Yeah, I have hunted. Hunt test. Your dog is hunted solo and it has to do it. It's a good thing. Nothing for dogs to me, too." I agree with that. Next time you go to LBL, I'd like to come see you. I live a couple hours from there. Yeah, I'll holler at you on the chin. Jenny, is Hyde a hunt test champ? No, Hyde has never been in a competition hunting. Never. I don't, just haven't done it. I could see maybe putting him in the hunt test, but, I'm not a dog breeder, so the paper side of it don't really matter anything to me. Hyde's going to be bred to Nix if she makes a dog. If Nix don't make a dog, I ain't gonna breed him. I'm not gonna breed to a dog that is not a bona fide dog. But if Nix makes something, how to be bred to her, I'll keep a pup and I'll sell the rest. But I'm not out here. I'm not gonna breed to every female I got every time they come in heat just to make pups and keep rotating through pups. It's not me. I like to train pups. I like to train them off my stock. And, if I was out here trying to sell a bunch of pups, I could definitely see why you'd want to get the towels on the dog. But it'd be cool to have hunt test, I guess. But Victor says, "That banjo dog you hung with reminded me of my male pup. He sounded a lot like my pup tracking and treeing." Yeah. Tough, actually. When Tough located up and went to treeing, him and that banjo dog sounded really similar. They really did. Alright guys, let's see here. It is 9:40. You guys have anything else you want to talk about? Last call here before we sign off. Any gear you want to talk about? Questions? Whatever. A couple more I'll take and we're going to call it a night. I will tell you guys, I'm probably going to get back onto the regular scheduled live videos here lately. I've been trying to hunt. I went hunting this past Monday night. That's why I didn't do a live video. And work has been crazy too. Any more questions before we call it a night here? I'll give you just a couple more seconds to post something up. Jenny says, "You should look into Bullock's Slick Walker kennels if you want to breed Hyde." Who are they, Jenny? And what do you like about them? I'm all up for breeding Hyde to somebody, honestly. Herlocks, not Bullock. Looking at Herlocks. Let me write that down. Herlocks, Slick Walker kennels. So that's another thing too. So I've got 2 pups right now. They're a year old and need my focus. So I don't have time to take on another pup. But I'm hoping maybe by the end of this next coming season, I'll have them very well started and taken off. and then I can go ahead and plan on getting me another pup. And that's when I definitely want to tree or breed hide for sure. Big Country says we're gonna get you back in comp hunts. If you get in a fight, you just get barred for a year. Yeah. Victor says, good night, Nick. See you at Autumn Oaks. Yeah, Autumn Oaks, I guess, is our next big hunt event. I will be there with Sport Dog for sure. Have yet to determine whether I'm going to have a nightlife booth or not, but I will definitely be there myself. Friend of mine, he is a good dude and has good hounds. Okay, Jenny, I appreciate it. I will definitely look. Are they on Facebook, I assume? Clint Fowler says, how high is that snake protector you sell come up your leg? It comes all the way to the very bottom base of your kneecap, basically. It doesn't come over your kneecap, but it comes right to the base of it. So I looked on the internet, and I can't remember what the statistics were now, but it was really high, like 60, 70%, 70, something like that, of snake bites were from the ankle to the knee. So that covers your bases on most of it. Plus, it comes over the top of your foot just a little bit too, protects you on there. Which, if you're wearing boots, a lot of times your thickest part of your leather is on the side of your boots. So you're kind of protected by your boots. The top of your foot is protected by your boot and the snake guard, and of course all the way your leg up to the very back of your knee and base of your kneecap. All right, Jeannie, I appreciate it. Mitchell, what's going on? Good to see you. All right, well, we've been on here an hour and 7 minutes. We're going to call it a night. If you will, hit that thumbs up button. Like I said, I'm editing videos currently right now as soon as I get off here. Big Country says I put a couple videos on YouTube. They're not that great. Don't really know what I'm doing, but check it out. Nick, I will definitely do that, man. And you guys that's into YouTube, check out Big Country. And also check out Finley River Kennels YouTube page while you're at it. And check these guys out. Subscribe to them. And guys, we're at 3,200 subs right now. We gained like 60 subs in 2 days after I put up a hunting video. I want to let you guys know I really appreciate that. Do me a favor. If you follow us, you got buddies that coon hunt, tell them bass and get us some more subscribers. Subscribers ain't where it's all about, but I would like to have more subscribers. So if you guys know anybody, tell them bass and ask them to subscribe. You guys know it's free. I think a lot of people don't understand. They think subscription is kind of like an old magazine. You're going to pay for it. So maybe explain that to them, tell them about, show them a video, and ask them to subscribe and like our videos. Braden Bell, what's going on? All right, well, we're going to call it a night. I got videos to edit for you guys. We got a brand new video coming up tomorrow. It's already uploaded. It goes live tomorrow. It's called The 4 Phases of Becoming a Houndsman. I think it's some really good things to think about. So I hope you guys enjoy that. I've got plans to get in the woods Monday night for sure. Me and Sean are going again back to South Carolina from what I understand. And get some more content up for you guys. So we do appreciate you. We love you. In the meantime,